Right now at 6, a Winona County judge considers whether to relocate Adam Fravel's murder trial.
And the end of the glory days. The demolition of an iconic lacrosse sports bar starts today.
You're watching WKBT Lacrosse. This is News 8 Now at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 6. I'm Ken Kozorowski.
And I'm Emily Brown.
A judge heard arguments today on whether Adam Fravel's murder trial will move out of Winona County.
He's accused of killing Madeline Kingsbury, the mother of his 2 children, in March of last year.
Fravel's charged with 4 murder charges of various degrees. Our own Allison Fergott was at the Winona courthouse today and joins us with the details. Allison.
Ken and Emily, Fravel's attorneys are hoping to move the case out of Winona County. They argue that a fair and impartial trial can't happen here because of the high levels of pre-trial publicity that the case is already getting. The defense called multiple people to testify, hoping to build their case that a fair trial can't happen in Winona. Kim Adams with SNG Research testified first. The defense hired her to create a public opinion survey on Adam Fravel earlier this year. Her company interviewed 100 people in Winona. 89 people said they'd seen, heard, or read a news story about Kingsbury's death, and almost 75% of those said they believed Fravel had caused the death. The prosecution tried to poke holes in the survey, asking questions about how opinions can change over time and if the survey framed questions in a way to benefit the defense's point. The defense also called Winona's mayor to the stand, who spoke about his time looking for Kingsbury with search parties. The last witness was Ben Cleaner, Winona County's emergency management director. The defense grilled him over social media posts he shared on Winona's emergency management Twitter page. The posts were shared less than 2 weeks after Kingsbury's body was discovered and Fravel was arrested. One post included a picture from the Steamboat Day parade. The photo showed pictures of Kingsbury's friends holding signs saying "Justice for Maddie," as well as signs bringing awareness to domestic violence. The post caption included #EndDomesticViolence. The defense questioned if a post like this could lead people to connect Fravel to Kingsbury's murder, since he was known as her domestic partner. Kingsbury's friends say they stand by participating in the parade.
We wanted to shine light on the domestic violence that happens anywhere. It doesn't have to be a specific case. It still happens, and it needs to end.
After the court proceedings, Kingsbury's friends and family say they're indifferent about the case moving and are just looking for justice.
We'll be good with whatever decision the judge makes.
Whatever is going to be best for the case. If that's moving it, okay. If it's staying here, okay.
I spoke with the state's attorney today. He said we can expect a ruling on whether this case is going to move out of this county by midsummer. Reporting in Winona, Allison Fergott, News 8 Now.
All right, thank you, Allison.
Well, a man is dead after being crushed by a 5,000-pound cement mixing drum at Contech Manufacturing in Dodge Center, Minnesota. According to the Dodge County Sheriff's Office, 63-year-old Teofilo Gonzalez was cutting a crossbeam support on a dolly that was supporting a mixer drum. The dolly failed and the drum came down on Gonzalez. Workers used forklifts to move the drum so they could begin CPR. Dodge Center ambulance took over the life-saving efforts but were unable to revive Gonzalez. Contech told investigators they will contact OSHA about the incident. Gonzalez was from Brownsdale, Minnesota, and had worked for Contech for 10 years.
The mother of missing 3-year-old Elijah Vu will stay in jail for now. Today, a judge denied Katrina Bauer's request to be released from jail on a signature bond. This comes after her attorney requested her $15,000 cash bond be converted to a signature bond due to her inability to come up with the cash. The judge thinks Bauer could be a flight risk.
If she were released into the county, she would pose a significant risk of not appearing for court when scheduled. So for those reasons, the court will deny the motion.
Bauer's son has been missing since February 20th. Her boyfriend Jesse Vang was caring for the toddler when he was reported missing. Both Bauer and Vang face child neglect charges and both have pleaded not guilty. A $40,000 reward is being offered for information leading to finding the missing toddler.
Yeah, we've had a nice afternoon and almost early evening here, but things are going to change too. We are tracking the showers and thunderstorms that we mentioned before coming this way. If you look at satellite right now, a lot of the first area that ahead of it is just some light showers, but the tornado watch, as you see that red outline, that's in Iowa where they've had some stronger storms. That activity also eventually will be coming our way, but we're still expecting it, a lot of it to weaken too. As we kind of look at radar, a lot of it is still not reaching the ground, but we could see in the next hour some light showers come through the area. Not expecting thunderstorms yet, probably not until at least after 8 o'clock when this main line comes through, but that's what we're seeing right now approaching La Crosse area and Prairie du Chien, also seeing some of that. Once again, a lot of that is probably not reaching the ground quite a bit, and we're still well away from activity reaching the Eau Claire area. But really, by the time we get to about 8 p.m., that main line is going to start approaching, and it's really the stuff on the tail end of it that comes through in a couple lines between about 10 to 11, even towards midnight, that could be somewhat strong. We'll keep an eye on that as it does come through. The good news, it all kind of wraps up throughout the area by midnight or even just 1 a.m. and pushes off to the east. So the rest of the night actually doesn't look too bad with clearing skies. The good news as we go out through tomorrow, it actually doesn't look too bad for Wednesday. Unfortunately, Thursday looks like to be like a washout day pretty much all the way through Thursday night, which could contain some heavy rain too at that. And we'll break that down a bit later in the broadcast too.
All right. Sounds like a plan. Thank you, Greg. Well, Gunderson Health System merged with Green Bay-based Bellin Health back in 2022. Now, the merged companies are unveiling a new unified name. Gunderson CEO Dr. Scott Rathgaber announced this morning that the merged systems will rebrand to the one name Amplify Health. Rathgaber says it's based on the company's legacies of amplifying empathy with their patients. The company filed an application for the new name and logo with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office last October. That trademark is awaiting approval. Rathgaber says this rebranding will realistically take months, if not years. He says Bellin and Gunderson's medical foundations will keep their current names.
The end of the glory days. The demolition of the iconic Packers-themed bar started today. The bar opened in the mid-90s, featuring Green Bay Packers memorabilia and signatures from famous former Packers throughout the years. Equipment was set up Monday to tear down the pub, which was condemned following a major fire in 2022 that destroyed the next-door India Curry House building. The demolition was originally scheduled for earlier in April, but was delayed due to the need for asbestos removal.
Eau Claire Democrats are urging Republicans on the state's Joint Finance Committee to release millions of state dollars that are meant to help stabilize the region's health care. Lawmakers have scrambled to provide solutions after HSHS and Prevea's sudden announcement earlier this year that they would close their Chippewa Valley locations. The legislature in March approved $15 million for existing health care options in the region to use for emergency room capital expenses. The governor used a partial veto then to make the money available for additional uses like OBGYN and mental health. Since that partial veto, the GOP-controlled Joint Finance Committee has declined to release the money. Today, State Senator Jeff Smith and Representative Jody Emerson called out their Republican colleagues, saying they need to act before irreversible damage is done.
Well, it's National Small Business Week, and today was the first day of the 11th Annual Lieutenant Governor's Small Business Academy. The program gives small business owners an opportunity to connect with local experts and explore the resources available in the community. All free of cost, attendees get the chance to view presentations from entrepreneurs and participate in different roundtable discussions. But you don't need to actually own a small business to attend.
Our program looks to incorporate both opportunities for existing businesses, but also the individual that's trying to think about what would they like to do. They'd like to start a business, but they don't know how to get started.
Today was the first of 4 days of the Academy. The next 3 will be offered virtually. If you would like to register, we will have a link on our digital platforms.
A routine search warrant turned deadly.
An ambush in Charlotte claims the lives of multiple police officers.
Police have identified the 4 officers gunned down Monday as they attempted to serve a warrant at a home in Charlotte, North Carolina. As
Manuel Bajorquez shows us, an emotional chief of police addressed the public today.
Knowing that you have families that are hurting right now, The chief of the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department wiped away tears as he gave an update on the ambush that killed 4 law enforcement officers.
Shots fired at officer, possibly 1 down. Subjects, correction, 2 down. Subjects barricaded himself.
The shootout started Monday as members of a U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force were serving a warrant on a felon police say was illegally in possession of a firearm. As officers approached, they say the suspect opened fire. Initially, investigators suggested the possibility of a second shooter, but now are not sure.
The suspect at the time had an upper advantage to the officers, so he was shooting from upstairs down at the officers, both front and back, which also could be an indication that we thought maybe there were multiple shooters at the time, too.
Deputy U.S. Marshal Thomas Weeks, a 16-year veteran assigned to the Fugitive Task Force, was killed in the ambush.
Losing a deputy, losing task force officers is like losing a family member.
2 officers from the North Carolina Department of Adult Correction were also killed. William Alden Elliott and Samuel Peloche, both 14-year veterans, as well as Charlotte-Mecklenburg police officer Joshua Iyer. 4 other officers were hurt, but none with life-threatening injuries. Manuel Bojorquez, CBS News, Charlotte.
Police eventually shot and killed the suspect.
2 people inside the house at the time of the shootout are cooperating fully with the investigation and are not facing charges at this time.
Well, loosening restrictions.
Marijuana may be getting federally reclassified. The reason why when we come back.
And yeah, we got storms this evening, but we're going to have some drier conditions for your Wednesday. That's the good news. Unfortunately, those drier conditions don't last that long because Thursday we got rain coming back. I'll time it all out and show how much rain we actually might get towards the end of the week. All that coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
You expect more, so thank you for watching News 8 Now.
Sources say the Justice Department will move to loosen federal restrictions on marijuana.
The proposal would knock it down to a Schedule III drug.
Right now, pot is considered a Schedule I drug, which means it has no medical use and has a high potential for abuse. Other drugs in that category include heroin and LSD.
The Justice Department reportedly wants to move it to Schedule III. Those substances are considered to have moderate to low potential for dependence. The category includes things like Tylenol with codeine and anabolic steroids.
Once the DOJ makes the recommendation, it'll take months to take effect after a public comment period. Neither the Justice Department nor White House have confirmed the potential change.
Well, if today was giving us a taste of what May was going to look like, I would have been totally happy with that.
Oh, would have been sold.
Yeah, but it's not going to happen because we do have some rain headed our way.
Set it up
evening.
and knock it down.
Don't we, Greg?
Yeah, unfortunately, May, we're still going to be on an active pattern going into the first week of May, and it goes with this evening, too. We still got the storms tonight, potentially for some strong, maybe severe. The Wednesday looks actually not too bad. Cloud cover a little bit cooler, and then we have more rain, definitely a lot more rain coming probably for Thursday night, and once again probably dry Friday. So it's kind of a repeat cycle here. But for tonight, it's really between about 9 to 12 midnight that we might have potential for some severe. It's pretty limited. Confidence is kind of low because we don't know if these storms will hold together as they approach. So regardless, even if they could be strong, we might have some small hail, gusty winds associated with some of these storms if they don't quite get to that severe limit. But here's a little bit of shower activity that I showed on radar earlier that's approaching the area. Probably will fall apart, won't be out that much, and the main activity starts coming into the area probably around 8 o'clock. And then we're going to look at kind of some waves or bands that come through between about 9 to 11 that could be fairly strong, one at 10 and one at 11. The tail end of these, especially as you go further south. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as it comes through. They could be strong, maybe severe, but definitely you'll notice it come through. The good news is once we hit midnight for most of the area from Eau Claire to La Crosse, we should be done with all that activity. And Ladysmith area's up there probably by 1. Clearing skies for southern areas. The clouds will remain to the north, so it should be a dry morning commute with that west wind, kind of breezy at times throughout the day. Cloud cover here and there. Up to the north, they'll kind of stick around. To the south, we might have more clouds for the afternoon as that next system approaches, but it will be slightly cooler than we've had today with that west wind and cloud cover as the winds actually start turning around to the north because we're going to have that rain activity begin to approach the area from the south but that should hold off probably until we get to nighttime. And here is the activity for the next round that comes in for your Thursday morning commute, and this looks quite a bit more widespread shower, light rain, and thunderstorms. Lifts north, at least one batch of it through the morning hours with potentially for some local heavy rain with that. And then through the afternoon hours, we're going to see another round potentially come with the main front too. And once again, we could see some heavy rain with this. The severe threat looks limited, but the rain could pile up here with some of these thunderstorms, really efficient at rain producers. So we'll keep an eye on that. The good news, once again, Friday, we're going to probably dry out behind this with that west wind kicking up again, but overall it looks dry for at least to end the work week. But the severe threat with that next one looks pretty limited with all the precipitation clouds going on. Maybe a marginal threat. We'll keep an eye on it, but that does look to be fairly minimum. The other idea is the rain threat. With the amount of rain that we could get with this system and the next one, especially this period Thursday, we'll have to keep an eye on the area of rivers, creeks, and even flash flooding guidance to see if this actually becomes a problem too. Just depends on how things pan out. So something to keep in mind for Thursday and Thursday night. But for tonight, we still got the thunderstorms coming through, probably through about midnight. They could be strong, maybe a little bit of severe, but everything should kind of clear out after midnight. Temperatures in the upper 40s, low 50s. We'll have on and off cloud cover tomorrow, slightly cooler than we've had today. Cloud cover increases to the south, but still some areas getting up to the mid 60s. And then we'll see the showers begin to approach late Wednesday night, and Thursday looks wet, periods of rain, moderate, maybe even heavy rainfall, along with thunderstorms that'll continue through Thursday night, wrapping up early Friday. Friday looks dry. Saturday, maybe a few more showers and cooler. Cinco de Mayo looks fine. And then next week, it's more active once again, too. So it's an active pattern that we're still in. Doesn't look like any signs that we're going to get out of it quite yet.
All right. Thanks, Craig. Coming up next in sports, the Bucks have their backs against the wall tonight in a must-win Game 5. Plus, one of UWL's best is getting a shot with the green and gold. Rookie minicamp kicking off later this week for the former Eagle. Rob's got that story next.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now's Rob Schiff.
The Green Bay Packers have built up quite the rookie roster with an 11-player draft class along with 8 undrafted rookies, but there's still some spots on the 90-man roster available, and UWL's Mike Bertoia is hoping to fill one of those spots during his rookie tryout. Bertoia started 46 consecutive games for the Eagles, and now the 6'3" offensive lineman is trying to earn a spot on the Packers' 90-man roster. Later this week, Bertoia will head to Green Bay for rookie minicamp. No spot is given in the National Football League, but Bertoia has been waiting for this moment all offseason, and now he's ready to prove himself to the Packers.
I was pretty confident that I was going to get an opportunity of some fashion. It wasn't like I thought that I was going to get drafted, but I was confident that I was going to get an opportunity. Believe it or not, by the end of the draft, I was playing Fortnite with my girlfriend, and I got a call from a number I didn't know. And sure enough, it was Coach Butkus from the Packers calling to let me know they're going to give me an opportunity come Thursday.
That's awesome. Now, funny enough, Bertoia is from Lake Zurich, Illinois, was a Bears fan growing up. That's not good. But he says there is no ill will, and any team willing to give him an opportunity is his new favorite team. Packers rookie minicamp starts on May 3rd and will run through May 6th. Let's hit the track at Bangor High for the Brewer Invitational 4x800 meter relay. Kickapoo Lafarge in complete control. Girls get it done in just over 10 minutes and 47 seconds. The Panthers make it a clean sweep. Boys get the win as well, just over 8 minutes and 41 seconds. High jump now. Lots of good competition early on in this one at 5'10", Brookwood's Wyatt Morhoff gets it done. So does CFC's Graydon Barham, the junior, looking good early on. And last but not least, Caston's Jack Schlesner has a PR of 6'4". He's going to clear 5'10" on his third and final attempt. But it's the kid from Cochrane Fountain City getting the win in this one. Barham sets a PR of his own at 6'3". We'll have much more from Bangor later on tonight at 10. And in just a couple of hours from now, the Bucks, with their backs against the wall, they'll try to keep their season alive tonight in Game 5 from Milwaukee. Pacers have a 3-1 lead in the series. As of right now, both Giannis and Dame are still game-time decisions as of now. It might have changed in the last few minutes. But that's the last I've heard, so we'll see if they can give it a go.
Would be amazed if they do.
I don't think it's a good idea.
Yep.
Obviously, I'm sure the Bucks fans feel differently just because you want to win. But
yep.
We'll see.
Yeah, got to prioritize their long-term health because Dame's under contract. Giannis, you think, is sticking around for a while.
Yep.
Got to build for the future, I guess. Not this year.
No.
It's a bummer.
Yep.
Thanks, Rob.
Okay, we'll have another look at our forecast after this.
All right, that first line is coming through here with just a few showers. It's the main activity to the west that we're going to track, and that's really after 8 p.m. We'll see maybe a couple lines come through between about 8 to about midnight, 9, 10, even 11. There's going to be some stronger lines come through. Then everything kind of wraps up by midnight and beyond. Should be a pretty good night after that and a dry Wednesday.
Remember when it was 70 and sunny?
I know, right?
Yeah, just a little earlier.
10 minutes ago.
Oh, we can't have it all. Thanks for joining us at 6.
We'll see you at 10.